Hey guys, in this class we're going to be doing a full body stretch designed for beginners or people who are new to stretching. So this is going to be great for anyone, no matter your flexibility level or lack thereof. We're going to be doing a full body class that should be accessible to anyone. We're going to start out in any comfortable seated position. So I'm going to be on my knees here. You can be seated cross legs. You can be in any comfortable position where you're seated. And we're going to just start out by bringing the hands together, clasping the fingers, clasping the hands, and we're just going to reach the arms out in front of us just to get a little bit of a stretch, starting out here in the wrist, the arms, the hands, the fingers, just a little bit of a stretch here, just reaching out in front of you. You can just reach out as far as you need to feel a stretch here. In these stretches, you want to feel just a gentle stretch, not anything super intense. That means that you're pushing a little too far. So just a little bit of a stretch here. And we'll just breathe a few breaths. Go ahead and then bringing them back in. We're going to do something similar, but instead of reaching out in front of us, we're going to reach straight up. So keeping those fingers interlaced the same way, we're just going to reach straight up here, getting a stretch over the head. Again, you want to feel a little bit of a stretch, nothing too intense. You never want to feel anything painful, just a little bit of a stretch. So going as far as you need to feel that. Take a couple breaths. One more. Good. Now we'll bring the hands back down. This time we're going to reach one arm out in front of us, and we're going to use the opposite hand to grab that arm. So I'm going to reach my right arm out, and I'll use the other hand to bring the arm in, hugging that arm in across the chest until you can feel a little bit of a stretch in that shoulder. So bringing it forward until you can feel a stretch again, just feeling a little bit of a stretch. Shouldn't be too intense. You can also play, if you want, with bending that elbow and reaching a little bit higher on the arm. You can bring the arm in probably a little bit closer. You might just feel it just slightly differently, but both work. You can do whichever one feels better, or even a little of both. But just hugging that arm in for a stretch in that shoulder. Holding for a couple breaths here. You can also, anytime we're holding something, you can close your eyes if you'd like and try to relax into it. One more breath here. Good, and then we'll release that arm, bring it back out, and we're going to just switch sides. So we'll bring out the other arm, whatever one you didn't do yet. So for me, I'm going to bring out the left arm in front of me, use the right arm to hug it in, and we'll just bring it across the chest until we can feel a bit of a stretch in that shoulder. Again, you can keep the arm straight here, or if you want to feel something a little differently, see which feels better, you can bend the elbow and use that to grab a little bit higher in the arm and hug it in. Just feeling that stretch in the shoulder. You can see which feels a little bit better today for you. Idea here, we just want to feel a little bit of a stretch, nothing too intense, but we do want to feel something. Good. When you're done, we'll bring the arms out in front of you, and then just by the sides, we're going to do a little bit of a side bend stretch here. So again, from this seated position, we're just going to bring one hand to the side. So for me, I'm going to bring my right hand down next to me. Staying in the seated position, I'll reach the opposite arm up, and then I'm just going to start to use that hand that's down as leverage and just pull yourself over a little bit, just gently side bending over to the side until you feel a stretch in the side of the body. So you're using that hand to prop yourself up. Keep your balance. And then just bending over until you feel a stretch. If you're not feeling enough, you can always walk that hand out a little bit further. That can allow you to bend further. For all of these things, you're just going as far as you need to feel some stretch. You don't want to feel too much. You don't want to feel nothing either. So just listening to your body, noticing what you feel, and adjusting from there. We'll hold here for a couple of breaths. Good, and then slowly walking yourself back to center. We're going to do the other side. You can adjust yourself however you need to. We'll bring that hand down to the side, reach the opposite arm up, and just slowly start to bend over to the side until you feel that side body stretch. If you need to, you can always walk the hand out further, bend a little further, as much as you need to feel that side bend here. Great. Great job. I know you're doing a great job, I can tell. We're going to come back to center. So this comfortable seated position, we're going to take it onto the hands and knees from here. So I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see. We're going to come to a table pose. So this is where your hands are directly below your shoulders. So your shoulders directly over the wrists, and then the hips are over the knees. In a tabletop pose, you're having a neutral spine here. So you're just on all fours here. And from here, in this table pose, we're going to take cat-cows. So for cat, what we do is we use our hands to push the ground away and round the back. So you're pushing the ground away to round the upper back. You want to feel a stretch in the upper back here. You're spreading your shoulder blades apart from each other. And then we'll gaze down here. And for the cow pose, it's the opposite. So we're going to arch up, get a little back bend here. Think about bringing your chest down, arching up and gazing up to get a little back bend here. And we're going to move just with each breath up and down just like this, cat-cows. So as we exhale, we'll round the back and gaze down. And as we inhale, we'll arch up and gaze up. And we're going to start to move up and down just like this with each breath. As you exhale, go down. And then breathe in as you arch up and gaze up. So these are cat-cows. Starting to see if you can move one breath with each movement. And feeling this in the back, or noticing where in the body you feel this. As we bring some mobility into the back, into the body. Again, you're just trying to focus more on bending the upper back here as opposed to the lower back. But bringing that movement into the spine. We'll do a few more here. Cat-cows. Great. Now from here, we're just going to come back to a seated position, but this time we're going to come all the way onto the butt and extend the legs all the way out in front of you. So I'll show you from the side. We're going to just be in this seated position, and we're going to try to extend the spine straight up. So sitting straight up. And from here, we're going to do a seated forward fold. But what's important here, we're going to focus on the hamstrings, so the backs of the legs. And the idea here is less about how far forward you can get and more about feeling the stretch in the appropriate spot, which we want to target the hamstrings. So to do that, we want to make sure that we're keeping the spine straight. So we're going to sit straight up here. And if you want, if it's helpful, you can bring your hands by your sides here, or even just the fingertips. And from here, remembering to keep the spine straight, not rounding the back, keeping the spine straight, we're going to just gently move forward as much as you need to, which may be nothing, until you can feel a stretch in the hamstrings, which is the backs of the legs. So once you can feel a stretch back here, you're good. You don't need to keep going forward. So this is not about, again, going as far forward as you can. This is about feeling the stretch. And when we keep the back straight, We don't need to go as far to feel that stretch. So keeping the spine straight, you may just be straight up and down and you might feel that stretch, and that's great. If you need to go a little farther, you can just remember to keep the spine straight as you shift forward just a little bit, as much as you need to until you feel that stretch. Once you get to that point, we're going to hold for a few breaths in that point where you're feeling that stretch. Just a couple breaths. Feeling that hamstring stretch. One more. And then before you move, we're going to start to just relax the muscles here. And so now, instead of keeping that spine straight, we're going to allow the back to round a little bit. You might come a little bit farther forward now, as much as you need to fold forward. Now we're rounding the back, just coming forward, relaxing. This will take the stretch a little bit more out of the hamstrings. You still may feel some in the hamstrings, and you can also feel a little bit of a stretch in the back. As we relax the muscles, we're just going to take a few breaths just relaxed here. So this is basically a relaxed version of that stretch, where we're going to just let all the muscles in our body relax. And we're just going to take a few breaths here. Do your best to just relax your muscles, and we'll just hold here. If you want, you can let your head hang. You can relax the muscles in your neck. If it's intense, you can also bend your knees a little bit here. We're just going to take a couple more breaths in this more rounded version of the forward fold. And slowly, when you're ready, you can stay there as long as you want. We're going to come back up to seated. And from here, when you're ready, bring the feet in. We're going to come to a butterfly stretch. So that means that the feet are going to come together and the knees will be out to the sides. And your knees may be really high up if you're less flexible, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's great and wonderful. And they may be lower down. It really just depends on your body. It may be different on different days. It may be different depending on your flexibility level. It doesn't matter. The point is that we're bringing the feet in, feet together, knees out to the sides. And from here, however high they are, we're just gonna try to relax the muscles and just let the knees fall to either side. So again, doesn't matter. Don't compare yourself to me if mine are lower than yours. If yours are lower than mine, then you can compare yourself to me. It might make you feel good. But the point is here, we're just letting the muscles relax, get a little stretch in the hips. And from here, if you need a little bit more, if that's good, if you're feeling a stretch, stay there. If you're needing a little more, you can walk the hands out in front of you a little bit and start to shift forward until you can feel more of a stretch. So again, this is optional. You may just feel enough sitting straight up. If you need more, we're just gonna shift forward until you can feel a little more of a stretch. And wherever you're at, we're gonna hold a few breaths. Again, stay here as long as you'd like, but when you're ready, we're going to come back up, and this time we're going to make our way all the way onto the back. So I'm going to turn to this side so you guys can see. We're going to be all the way onto the back, and we're going to do a figure 4 stretch here on the back. So you're going to bring one leg over the other. So basically, I'm going to take my right leg. I'm going to bring the right ankle over the left knee, crossing it over like you're making a figure four here. You're going to keep that right foot flexed and then wrap your arms around that opposite leg. So I'm going to wrap my arms. If your right ankle is over your left knee, you're going to reach for that left thigh and then use your hands to pull that leg in as much as you need to until you can feel a gentle stretch in the right hip. This is a great way to release the hips and the lower back. And you're just going to hold a few breaths here. You can play around with what part of the leg you need to reach for to feel this and to feel good. This one should feel like a gentle stretch, but it should feel pretty good. You don't want it to feel painful. Just a little nice stretch here. Take a couple more breaths. If you ever are doing a class where we talk about pigeon pose, this is always a great alternative if pigeon pose is not one that works well for you. This is a great alternative to keep in your back pocket, this figure four. When you're ready, we're going to slowly release. We're changing sides here, so left ankle will come over the right knee. We're going to reach for the right thigh, or of course, if you did the other side, whatever's the opposite, grabbing around and pulling that thigh in to get that stretch. So if your left ankle is crossed over, you're going to feel this in the left hip. And we're going to hold for a few breaths here. This figure four on the back. You can always close the eyes here. Allow yourself to just notice the sensations that you feel. Again, you want to feel a little stretch here, not too much. And then again, when you're ready, we're slowly going to come out of this. And this time we're going to bring both knees in to the chest. You're going to use your arms to wrap around your legs and give your knees a little hug, a little squeeze. Close your eyes for a moment and just take a second just to say thank you to yourself for giving this time to yourself, doing something good for you. And then when you're ready, we're going to release the hands and make your way slowly all the way up to seated, however you need to get there. Coming back to that seated position, we'll bring our hands together to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. One more time, just have a sense of gratitude for yourself, for this practice. Thank you for sharing your practice.